Dudes! What's up guys? Max here. I'm back from E3. You probably haven't heard much of me since then because my god, it was really busy, it was really hectic, and the E3 Bola virus caught wind of myself and Matt at the end of the show, and I am just making a recovery right now. So there's been quite a few videos that I wanted to make about stuff that I saw at E3, stuff that I played at E3, and stuff that was shown at E3 that I might not have had the appropriate response for. Besides things like Killer Instinct and Super Smash Bros. That you saw are natural reactions to. And the other thing that I really wanted to make a video about now that a lot more information has come up and a lot more things have been detailed and a lot of conflicting details have come about, it's the Xbox One. So let's go ahead and talk about the future of video games, and it's the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 in comparison to each other. And in this episode, or right now, I really just want to talk about the Xbox One and my thoughts and opinions on this system. So right off the bat, you guys might be expecting me to make like a rant type of video, but as many of you might know from watching any of my previous videos, I've kind of made things in the vein of I don't really like to get angry at certain things. Sure, there's some issues that come up with games that I think need to be taken light to, but at the same time, I'm not the guy that'll just go off, you know, and just go absolutely crazy in anything. It's a video game. I'm here to have fun with things, not to get extremely angry and bitter about stuff. So don't expect me to get extremely angry and bitter about stuff, but don't expect me to give any passes for things that I think people should put up with as far as a video game system. Because, oh my god, the Xbox One is trying to choke so much stuff down people's throats that it's like blowing my mind. Not only the fact that it's got all these crazy DRM policies and all these insane requirements as far as connecting your games and sharing your games, it's like they don't even know how to communicate this. I think for the most part, employees at Microsoft don't even really know what's going on, and I was saying this in the previous video when I was talking about the Xbox One based off the initial reveal when they just showed the system and not the games. Oh my god, dude, it's like they don't even know what's going on. You get these conflicting reports. Major Nelson's like saying one thing, and then you got this Xbox support service on Twitter telling people if you get banned from Xbox Live, you will never be able to play any of your games, even if you bought them even offline. Holy shit, that is really bad. And then Major Nelson comes out the very next day saying, yeah, you'll be able to play your games still, of course. Why would we do that to you? Seriously, what is going on? And this stuff keeps coming, and there's even more conflicting reports over and over and over again. I think one of the big ones now is Xbox One is going to allow you to share your games, the games that you've purchased, with up to 10 friends. I think 2 people can play them at the same time, but they have to be on your friends list for like a specific day requirement, like 30 days, all these ridiculous specifics. This sounds like one of the coolest features of this freaking system, right? Being able to share a game that you purchased under a virtual library with people online amongst your personal network. 10 of those dudes or dudettes amongst this network and just play video games. You can just get the game, no problem. Now that sounds awesome, but at the same time, you gotta realize there's gotta be some sort of policy or crazy thing behind it, like this 30-day requirement, or dude, I don't even know at this point. I try to go onto this website, and there's the Xbox Live site, or the Xbox site that lists all the stuff in details, and there's a real good Reddit thread, and I'll put these links in the comment section below, that goes over all the stuff about Xbox One, about what it does for people, what it doesn't do for people, and things like that. One thing that's being misconstrued quite a bit is that there's this Connect requirement that requires the Connect to be on and watching and listening at all times, and reportedly that's not true. You can actually turn the Connect off, you can turn the Xbox on, like voice recognition off completely, and that kind of becomes a non-issue, other than the fact that you still have to plug it in. The biggest piece of BS about this is that I don't give a shit about Connect. My friends don't give a shit about Connect. I've played Connect on the original Xbox. It's not good. Like, it works for one game, and it's Let's Dance. And I'm never gonna play that ever again. Ever again. So I don't care. Like, I really don't want that in my new system. And the fact that they're force bundling it, which is the reason that it's costing $500, that system would be $399 MSRP if it didn't come with a heat-seeking infrared interdimensional 1080p camera that was going to be watching you playing video games. I really don't want that. Straight up. I don't want that at all, and the fact that it's hiking the price up and you're making us buy it is, I think, complete BS. I understand that your system is supposed to do this thing where you install a game, and the whole point of the Xbox One is that you get a game, it goes into the system, it installs completely, and your OS is designed that you can intermittently switch between your game, your Twitch feed, your I don't know, your Twitter feeds, your television feeds, all this crazy crap I'll never use an Xbox One for, but it does all that at the same time. I see that that's your big push, and that's what you really want to do with the Xbox One. I get that. However, you have this issue now that the fact that you're installing a game completely to your hard drive, that this game is always going to have to check online once every 24 hours, and if you're logged into somebody else's system, once every hour. Now, the process of doing this is kind of a pain in the ass. Not only do you have to have an internet connection to make this possible, you literally, if you don't have like a wired internet connection or an Ethernet, you can use your phone, but these are all things that you have to do externally to make it display your video game. You see what I mean? What they need to do to fix this, if you want to fix this, if companies want to make it easy on people, is include like a little dongle or like a hotspot 3G dongle, put it right in your system, it takes care of that, no problem. That would be the best thing you could possibly do to get rid of that issue. Because the thing that bugs me the most about this is that I have friends in armed forces, I have friends in the service that go out to other countries, we don't see them for a freaking year, and they come back and they tell us about all the video games that they had the chance to play because of all this time that they had out of the country. And when they're on duty, man, that's like the one thing that a lot of these guys get, that they really get to enjoy time with, because they don't get to spend time with their families, they don't get to spend time doing things that they might normally do in their off time, and they literally just have video games in whatever area they are on the planet. And I sympathize with those guys. The fact that I know dudes personally that would love the shit out of playing a Killer Instinct, and they're going to be in another country that Xbox One isn't even supported at all, or they can't get online to download the game. That sucks. That really sucks. I can completely sympathize with those guys, and that's honestly, in my opinion, one of the worst things about the system. And the fact that these guys are coming on, like Don Matrick, I think is his name. I'm not too big with these PR guys' names. Literally said that if you are a consumer of Microsoft and you don't want to get an Xbox One because of the internet issue, we have another system for you. It's called the Xbox 360. What? I've never ever heard a PR guy literally tell people, we're not what you want. It seems honestly like Microsoft doesn't know what the hell is going on. That people between the PR department and marketing honestly are not talking to each other about making this, because when you release a piece of hardware, especially one that costs $500, you try to make that available for everybody, right? And the fact that a lot of you guys on my videos, when I make Killer Instinct videos, I try to make this, I stand by this statement, and I still do with the Xbox One. I don't play video games for video game consoles. I never have. Okay, well, I might have for the Sega Saturn and the Sega Dreamcast. I defended those consoles like crazy back in the day. However, I've grown up, and I've realized that I don't really play consoles anymore. Like the last time I bought a console for its exclusive console features outside of video games was the PlayStation 2, because it played DVDs. I had a copy of Princess Mononoke that I really wanted to watch, but it didn't have a DVD player. I bought a PS2 for Princess Mononoke for the first year. I ain't even gonna lie about it. I like that movie, and I bought a video game system just to watch a freaking movie. It took me until Zone of the Enders to buy a video game on the PlayStation 2 before I did. And that was the last time I remember doing something like that. Xbox One services really I don't care. Like, the only thing that seems kind of cool, remotely cool, is the Twitch streaming service. The fact that you can use the Xbone camera to stream yourself on Twitch, and if you possibly will give us the option for like 60 frames per second and 720p video on Twitch, easily and accessible, that's pretty cool. That's getting there. That's one of those things that is like, here's my comparison. So we got bullshit that we have to deal with as far as the system goes, and we got all the other stuff the system is offering, between like this friend sharing and stuff like that. But the stuff that we have to deal with is like right above all the stuff that's really cool. And the worst part about it is that, like I said, I stick by this thing that I follow games, not consoles. And the thing that rips my heart asunder is the fact that the Xbox One is the home for two games that I've been waiting for sequels for since I was a freaking kid. Killer Instinct is coming back, as well as Crimson Dragon, which was made by the original guys who made the Panzer Dragoon series. Oh, like, oh my god, like the original people that made these games great are actually working on the new games. Literally, development staff that worked on the first Killer Instinct, albeit not very many of them that were on the original KI stuff, because not many dudes made that game, are working on the new Killer Instinct. I got to talk to them about the freaking game. It's freaking awesome. I got to play it for like 5 hours straight. I couldn't get enough of it. I got to talk to dudes about Crimson Dragon. It's made by Team Andromeda. It's made by the same guy who did the music, or the same girl who did the music, same guy who did the art direction, same guy that was the director. It's back. Panzer Dragoon is back. And it's on Xbox One. Fuck. I really, it's like, I have to stick by it. Like, I want to play these games and I want to support these games. Here's where I am at a standstill. I've pre-ordered an Xbox One. I couldn't help it. My childlike nostalgia for video games cannot keep myself from buying this system just for the sake of these two games. I had to do it. However, at the same time I pre-ordered a PS4. And before you say, oh my god, Max, you're made of money, I am saving up for these things now because I gotta be very careful about the money I'm saving because, oh my god, if I end up buying an Xbox One and an arcade stick, Jesus god, dude, it's gonna be like $650. Not to mention, I add on like Xbox Live Gold. Oh, thank God Xbox Live Gold transfers over. So as soon as I see like a $35 a month Xbox Live Gold card, right all over that. I'm all over that. Gotta get it quick, gotta make sure it transfers over, and let's go. However, I did pre-order a PS4. The biggest reason is that there are games that are outside Xbox One exclusives that I'm really excited for, and there is no PS4 exclusives I'm excited for right now. But there are some third-party games I really do want to play. I want to play Call of Duty Ghosts when it comes out. My Call of Duty like pizzazz and enthusiasm isn't nearly as much as before because I've got really burned out on Black Ops 2 with the connections. And as far as the internet connection and the latency between the players, it got to a point where I can't handle this shit anymore. I still got the 10th Prestige in that game, but I just couldn't handle it anymore to keep playing. And I might go back into it before Ghost comes out, but that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the PlayStation 4 with Call of Duty Ghosts, with Destiny. Oh my god, Destiny looks sick. And with, I'm gonna say I'm kind of excited for Watch Dogs, but I don't know if I'll buy it at launch. I'm gonna wait till some reviews show up. And I think that's about, I can't actually think of any other third-party games I really want. Assassin's Creed never really did it for me. I might be interested in naval combat, but I'll probably just get that on my computer. And at the same time, it applies for like Ghosts as well. I'll probably just get that on my computer, so we'll see. I'm kind of more interested in playing an online console game like Call of Duty Ghosts with other people that also have controllers because I just suck with mouse and keyboard. I've never got good with it. So I'm getting the PS4 as well just because it has better graphics. Like, from what I understand, everything about the Xbox One has all this cloud stuff, and I don't even know what that means. Like, they still have not given an accurate description of what the cloud will actually do for games. So it's just, this adds to the list of stuff. I don't understand how this works with the Xbox One because they haven't accurately communicated it, really. And it's just mostly fluffy PR speak. And when the PS4 comes around, it literally has the better graphics processor, the better and faster RAM, and a better processor, and CPU in itself. Okay. And I hear the controller's really good too, even though I did not get to use it. I did use the Xbox One controller, and only on Panzer Dragoon. They actually had Tournament Edition sticks, regular TE sticks for Killer Instinct, and they just had custom art, so I don't know how that was working. But there's a lot of all this other stuff, and I saw it happen during some games at the show that many Xbox One games are running off Windows 7 or Windows PCs. So I don't know if they're running the exact same specs because all this stuff is like an AMD like generation anyway. I don't know. However, in retrospect, now that I'm thinking about all this stuff that this console is doing, there is one thing that still has me excited, and I don't even know if I should be excited about it anymore. Adam Sessler did a great thing that nobody should pre-reserve any systems at the moment because all the stuff that they're telling us is a story. Is a story of what could possibly be true with their system. And the same thing goes for the PlayStation 4 with some things that now that they're talking about, like as far as publishers making up how they want certain games to run online and whether or not those will be available for use, similar to how EA was doing with online passes of the previous generation. I don't even know what to think anymore. All I'm gonna do is stick by what my motto is. I play games, not consoles. I play video games for a very specific reason that I want to play the video game. And for some of you guys, that doesn't make sense. Like, how you possibly be gonna give Microsoft your money, those sons of bitches, even though it's got a game you love? It's hard to describe, right? And it's like something that's been attached to me for my whole life, but I'll just give you an example. I bought an entire arcade machine just so I could play Capcom vs. SNK 2 in arcade perfect format, because there was nothing on Dreamcast that I had arcade sticks for, there was nothing on computer that was properly emulating it at the speed I wanted to, and I was actually contemplating buying like expensive ass Dreamcast sticks and expensive ass stuff for like PlayStation 2 as far as arcade stick goes, and I was like, you know what, I think I'll just spend an extra couple $100 and see if I can possibly find a good CVS2 machine, fix it up, and oh my god, I love it so much. I love it so much. And it's that authentic experience. I can go on a tangent about this arcade thing and the fact that we saw a Killer Instinct arcade box there. Stay tuned for that, because I want to talk about Killer Instinct on other platforms after this. But it has Killer Instinct on it. It has Panzer Dragoon on it. I can't avoid these games. It's like, it's something about me that I can't say no. But what I will do, and what you can do if you guys are in a same stalemate as me, is, for one, don't buy the system. Straight up, you speak with your wallets. The fact that people are being very adamant about this is a good thing. The fact that you're being adamant about it on Killer Instinct videos that I put up on the channel is not as much. Attacking the developers isn't going to do anything. You need to let Microsoft know directly on their sites or their forums or whatever that what they're doing is total BS, because saying so on a Killer Instinct video about a developer that's working their butt off to work around the Microsoft requirements to make it tournament viable isn't exactly what you want to be doing. I'll talk about that later too. Those guys are working pretty hard to try to make Killer Instinct the most tournament viable game possible around all the other stuff that Microsoft is doing. I'm stuck. What I'll never do is tell you guys to go buy an Xbox One. I can't do that. If these things didn't exist on this system, there's no way. These things exist on the system to bait guys like me that just can't help it. I'm weak. I can't, I see the game and I'm just like, no, yes, but no. And I feel like a lot of people felt the same way. Like I said, what I'll never do is tell you guys to go buy an Xbox One. And for the most part, I won't tell you to go buy a PlayStation 4 either. I don't care which system you buy. I don't care how you play your video games. All I care is that you play them. All I care is that you appreciate them, understand their history, where they come from, and where they're going. And what Microsoft is setting up games right now, as far as the future, in their mind seems like a really good thing, right? But in our mind, we see the fact that we have a video game that we just bought, and in 20 years, or hell, in 10 years, we might not even be able to play it because it has to connect to a server. They've even gone on record like acknowledging the fact that we would never do that to you, but wait for the system to come out before we make any policies. I think it's important that you do make a policy about that before, because us as people that like video games and enjoy the experience want to know that we can share this experience with people later on. I can keep going on about this, but I think I've almost said enough. I don't want to rag on systems individually, because the Xbox One is the home of two games that I love. The PlayStation 4 will be the home of all the other games that I really want to play too. So here's what you guys got to do. If you are really pissed off at an Xbox One and you want to get Killer Instinct, play it at a friend's house. That's all I can tell you. If you really want to support KI and to support what these guys are doing for this game, go over to a friend's house and play it. Play the game as much as you want. Support it in some way. Play the video game. That's all you have to do. You'll have a friend that buys an Xbox One. You gotta have some rich mofo that's gonna get it no matter what. Go make friends with him. Play Killer Instinct all day and night. That's all I care about. I just want you guys to play the game. What I'll be doing, personally, is I'll be getting those Xbox One exclusives that I really wanted. Panzer Dragoon, Killer Instinct, and Titanfall when it eventually comes out. Oh, I forgot about that one too. Titanfall, when it eventually comes out, looks really good. However, when the PlayStation 4 launches around the same time, guess what I'll be getting on PS4? All those third-party games that you can also get on Xbox One, I'll be buying on PS4. Specifically because, guess what? PS4's got better graphics. It will have a better running hardware. Microsoft can't ever cover that up. Their system just doesn't have the hardware performance similar to the PS4. So, that's what I have to tell you. Support the games you want to play by playing the games. That's how we did it back in the day. We shared games with each other, and that's one thing that Microsoft has definitely forgotten, that many games got very popular, and video games, especially back in the day between Super Nintendo, Saturn, PlayStation 2 era, it was about sharing. It was about like, yo dude, I beat this game. I'm not going to play it again. I'm not going to trade it in. I want you to have it. I want you to enjoy the same experience I had. Microsoft is kind of doing that with this share games with tens of your friends thing, but we don't know the specifics, like the hardcore specifics of how it works. And the fact that that game won't technically be yours forever doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, God. Why couldn't KI just come out on PC? Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, understand a little bit of my thoughts on Xbox One. Like I said, torn asunder by this whole thing. And I just want people to play games. In the long run, support the games you want to play by playing the games you want to play. And if you'll understand where I'm coming from, you'll understand why I'm physically forced to buy an Xbox One. And I really hope in the long run that between all the people having issues with this system, that at some point it's going to get into somebody's head at Microsoft that decided to make these policies that, yo guys, this is probably a bad idea. You know, all these people that really like video games, all these people that help us make the Xbox One really popular with Halo, the fact that they all had this like local multiplayer thing, maybe we should make that easier for them. Maybe we should preserve a little bit of what video games used to be instead of jumping right into the future and making things what we think they should be. I understand Microsoft wants to be at the forefront of things, but at the same time, it's testing the waters and the patience of people that play video games, which is a hobby for people that usually don't have that much money. You get a huge experience out of games, even more so than most films. And when you're playing that game, you get this wonderful, lengthy experience a lot of the time. And you get to share that with your friends, or talk about it, or replay it, and get a different experience the next time. I definitely know this growing up myself, that I liked video games a lot because when I waited for a game to go down in price, it was a used game, it was hella cheap, and I've been waiting to play it for so long, and I just didn't have the money because I'm going to school and going to college and trying to afford a place myself. It's hard, man, and that's why I liked arcades back in the day, because it kind of didn't eat all my money at one time. So hopefully you guys understand a little bit more of where I'm coming from about all these games that bring back all this nostalgia that I just can't ignore. I will definitely be covering the games on the channel, and a lot of you guys have mentioned in the comments of the videos before, I can't get an Xbox One. I don't want to get an Xbox One, but I'll watch Max play Killer Instinct and love the hell out of the game. Totally down for that. I am completely down for sharing something that I love with other people, and all I ask is that try to play the game. Play the game and see how it feels. Go to a friend's house. Play the game. Support Killer Instinct in a way that, you know, makes you satisfied without having to, like, rip your heart asunder by supporting DRM and supporting all these crazy policies that Microsoft is trying to pressure you into. But stay tuned after this, because what I really wanted to talk about was my overall impressions of Killer Instinct from E3. It was absolutely my game of the show. And I put so much time into that game because I wanted to understand it on a deeper level as far as what they were trying to set us up for. And I talked with many of the guys on the development staff. And I think they might be doing the smartest thing with a fighting game that I've ever seen. And the fact that it's on Xbox One is like only limiting that. So I feel like they need support, you know. I feel like they need support only because they're doing things right, in my opinion. So I'm going to talk about that soon, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And if you agreed or disagreed with anything in this video, try to keep it civil. And like I said, arguing about Xbox One on YouTube, especially in the videos of like Killer Instinct and what other people are doing, isn't going to help. Go to the official Microsoft videos and let them know there. That's where they'll be listening, and that's where all the PR guys are looking. My name is Max. I'll see you next time.